Charlie was an interesting guy. He was hard-headed, he's demanding, but he was a good man.
His father was a bricklayer, and he eventually became a bricklayer, and then a brick contractor, and then a general contractor. That encompasses a lot of years. He spent his early marital years. I think he married when he was 18. His first marriage to Amabel. Those were pretty rough times, I think. I think everybody did what they had to do to make a living. He had 2 children, a daughter, Lavera, who lives today. She lives in Fort Smith, and a son, Jack, who died when Jack was 16 of diphtheria. He's responsible for building a lot of buildings, from schoolhouses in Hoyt, small things, Shawnee Heights here in Topeka.
He built a Hearn Fieldhouse at K-State. He built Allen Fieldhouse at KU. And the shopping center basically were leftover products from those constructions. So he prided the fact that the Fairlawn Plaza Shopping Center was a blend of KU and K-State stones and mortar and everything. And so that was, he always enjoyed that.
I think what made him different, he was so determined. When he decided he was going to do something, like he's going to build Fairlawn Plaza Shopping Center. There were a lot of people I heard say that's a terrible location for a shopping center. It'll never work, and he'll never get all the leases. Well, Charlie didn't listen to that. He got the lease for the grocery store. He started building, and the first thing you know, he built the shopping center up.
He's a person that I thought was exceptional as far as business and development. Tenants. We had tenants come and go, but he worked with tenants, and he wanted to see them grow. And a lot of them would come in, and here's our problem. Well, we can redo this for you, we can redo that, and needless to say, they were successful. Charlie prided the fact that he had developed a shopping center on the west side of town that was a leading shopping center that people came to, and he was very proud of it.
He formed a company called Bennett Housing and built all the residential area that is in this area from 21st to I-470.
He wanted to make sure this shopping center would be here 90 years from now, and the way it's going, there's no question it will be. Kind of give you an idea of Charlie, after you worked with him for a while, you got the place where you really knew how his mind worked. He was a futuristic business person. When times got tough, and I think most people would panic, and Charlie was one of these people who sat down and thought everything out. When I thought, well, maybe what's going to happen, he said, let's build, let's remodel. And I said, are you sure about this? He said, I think the time is right. And so we end up totally remodeling the shopping center. Charlie said, I want a bank. So he got together some businessmen and they put in a bank. They built there in the shopping center. So I mean, it was things that he was thinking about in the future. They weren't just today's problems. He said, let's look at tomorrow, see what we need and address those issues. He was a business guru because people came to him a lot. He'd have his pipe, and he'd be smoking his pipe, and he'd be thinking about it, and then he'd ask questions, and just that mind would start working. And he would come up with solutions that proved to be very beneficial for everybody.
But his employees, the ones that I met, and the ones I knew, particularly his foremen and superintendents, which are your main people, they all had a lot of respect for Charlie. He protected them. If they did something wrong, they got chewed out. If they did something real bad twice, they'd get fired. But as long as they did their job, Charlie stayed with them.
The fact is that Charlie did try to keep his people working, and he would essentially take a job in the winter and bid it in such a way that he would be almost certain to get the job, just so he could keep his regular crews with him.
The way Charlie did it, almost anything he was called on, or anything that involved making Topeka a better place, he would do it. He did a lot of things for Topeka that you didn't read about much or any place, but he was always there, willing to help.
For example, in the '51 flood, he and other contractors sort of voluntarily got together and decided who would be responsible for rebuilding what. And it all had to be done in a hurry. Charlie Bennett Construction took over the rebuilding of the water plant, which, if you can imagine, was underwater, and of course the health and safety of the community, depended on getting water.
And he would help people. I know he helped a lot of people who used to work for him in a way that nobody, no publicity, nobody knew anything about it, but Charlie'd help him. Kid, let me tell you something. I don't even remember life before 50. He said, when I was 50 years old, I married Eva. I learned to fly an airplane and I made $1 million. He said, everything before that, I don't even remember.
Eva was his strong point. Eva was involved in the community, involved with her church. They were a neat couple.
These two were an inseparable couple, and he involved her in everything. Every event that they went to, everything they did for the city, everything they did for the public, Eva was involved.
The shopping center was his child. Charlie and Eva didn't have a child, so that was his child that he could take care of, watch, nurture, and so it became his family. So really it was the shopping center, Eva, that was his life. That was Charlie.
But he was a fine man, and I was always proud to have known him.
He was a delight to be around, and we're all pretty proud of him.